All right, here we go with a walkthrough of the study guide for Test 1B. And again, this is for my students at University High School. And this is the study guide for Test 1B. First questions, relationship between 2 and 6. So 2 and 6 are corresponding. 3 and 6, they are alternate interior. 8 and 1. 8 and 1 are alternate exterior. 4 and 6 are the only ones that so far are not congruent, and that is same side interior, and they are supplementary. They add up to 180. All right, so if angle 5 is 109 degrees, what would angle 4 be? So we need to know this relationship. It's alternate interior, so they are congruent, so it would also be 109. Angle 7 is 40 degrees. Angle 2 then would be, their relationship is alternate exterior, and they are also congruent, so another 40 degrees. Angle 6 is 73 degrees. Angle 5, those two would add up to make a linear pair, so you're looking at 180 minus 73, which would give you 107, looks like. 107. Okay, so moving on, solving for C. All right, C is this angle. I want to isolate and look at the idea that I have two parallel lines, and then this would be the transversal. All right, so that's what I want to focus on. Angle C has a relationship with angle, well, the 64 degrees. These two are same side interior, and so they would together add up to 180. So 180 minus 64 will give you 116 degrees. So that would be angle C. Okay. I will tell you on your test you will need to be able to find all the angles. So let's go ahead and look at that real quick. If I wanted angle A, that is alternate interior to that angle, so that's 57. If I needed angle B, this makes a linear pair, so that would be 180 minus 116. And this again also makes a linear pair, so 180 minus 57 and 64. So that's how you would do the rest of them. All right, number 7, something like this. I need to see that relationship, which is same side interior. They are supplementary, so both angles add up to be 180. Okay, combine like terms. 2x and 2x is 4x. 43 minus 3 is 40. And solve from there. Add 40 to both sides. So 4x equals 220. All right, and then divide both sides by 4. X equals 35. Oh, I made a mistake up here. Sorry, let's go back. This is a plus. That's a plus. So that means this needs to be minus. My bad, sorry. And then all of this needs to be 140. And then I'm going to still divide by 4. And then 140 divided by 4 is 35. All right, now this said solve for x. If it said what are the angle measures, then I would take x, plug it back in, I could put it into either one of the angles and solve that. So this one would be 67 degrees. And then I could plug it into the other and get that angle measure as well. Okay, for this one, we've got a different relationship here. So these are alternate interior, so they're congruent. So what I need to say is, let me just get a smaller pen here. What I need to be able to say is that 3x plus 16 equals 5x minus 54. They're equal, congruent. So congruent things are equal. So I'm going to subtract, now I'm going to just solve for x. Subtract 3x from both sides. Then I'm going to add 54. I'm trying to get x by itself. So whatever, get the number away from x. So 2x equals, this is 60, 70. Then divide by 2. Get rid of that. And x equals 35. Okay, that says solve for each angle. So now I want to take x and plug it back in. So 3 times 35 plus 16 and 5 times 35 minus 54. And so just calculate those out and you would get angle measures. 3 times 35 plus 16 turns out to be 121 degrees. 5 times 35 minus 54 turns out to be 121 degrees. They should be equal, right? Because they are congruent. All right, next one. What are the measures of EBG? EBG and EBC. EBC. All right, that's kind of big. All right, so I'm just going to count on my scale here. So I've got from 100 down to 55. So 10, 20, 30, 45 degrees. This one is 45 degrees. And the whole thing, I'm going to look here, this started at 0 and I come around to 100. So I know the pink one is 100 degrees. So the question is classify acute or obtuse or right. So 45 less than 90 is acute and greater than is obtuse. All right, so EBG is 45, obtuse 100, acute obtuse. So choice A. Alrighty, moving on. Number 10, we go, all we need to see is how will we set up the equation. So it says the AOC, so we need to know what angles we're talking about here. Let's go AOC. The whole thing is 19 degrees. BOC, this angle is 2x plus 10. AOB, 4x minus 15. All right, well, what does the picture show us? The first angle plus the other angle equals 19 degrees. That's it. All you had to do is set it up. Name an angle supplementary to FGD. FGD. Okay, so looking for supplementary angles, I want to focus on what's going to continue and make a straight line. So this could be a straight line. And so the angle supplementary would be here. The other option is this continues to make a straight line. So that angle would be here, if you can see that. Okay, so what are my choices? This angle is DGH. DGH is a choice. So the other one is probably not a choice. That would be FGJ. FGJ is not a choice. So we went with the red one. Okay? Okay, now using that same picture, a vertical to FGJ. So let's erase this. Vertical to FGJ. All right, we need to finish these straight lines. Vertical angles need two intersecting straight lines. So continue that straight and straight. So the vertical angles would be this one and this one. FGJ vertical. So that would be angle DGH. Okay. SQ bisects RST. So what is that telling us? If it bisects, that means these are congruent. RST. And RSQ is 3x minus 9. QST is 4x minus 27. Find RST. Find the whole thing. All right, well, what does this tell us? If these are congruent things, we set equal to each other. Okay? And so we can solve for x. Subtract x from both sides. Negative 9 equals x minus 27. Get the x away from any other numbers. So move that 27 away. And now I got 27 minus 9, which is, what is that, 18? Where am I at? Where did I go? Yeah. 18 equals x. And then to actually find the measure of the angle, the whole thing, I need to substitute. So come back in here, 3 times 18 minus 9. That's going to equal 45 degrees. And we should be able to get the same result if we substitute 4 times 18 minus 27. And that equals 45 degrees. So both angles together would equal 90 degrees. So the measure of RST, angle RST equals 90 degrees. And once again, obviously that doesn't look like a 90-degree angle, so you cannot trust your picture. All right, this one is a bit of a trick. Let's look. We got to name all the angles that could be described. Supplementary adds up to 180. Yes. It says circle, so let me follow the directions. Circle. Complementary adds up to 90. These do not add up to 90. They can't be both. Angle bisector, an angle that's chopped in half. Nope. Adjacent, yes, they are adjacent to each other. They share a side and a vertex. Straight angles. A straight angle is just this. So I would say no on this because, I mean, on their own, neither one of them is a straight angle. A linear pair, yes, they make a line when they are combined. Congruent, we have nothing that indicates they're congruent. Vertical, they are not vertical angles. Vertical would be across from each other. Obtuse. Well, somebody's got to be obtuse unless it's two right angles, and it doesn't show that. So I'm going to say obtuse. I mean, technically, you'd like to see angle measures there. And transversal angles. No, we don't have any transversal there. Okay? We're on the home stretch. 2 more to go, I think. Yeah, 2 more. All right, we can do it. All right, this one, solve for the smaller angle. All we know is that this total is 180. So there's our equation. 4x plus 3 plus 7x plus 12 equals 180. All right, add them up. 11x plus 15 equals 180. 11x minus 15 on both sides equals 165. Divide both sides by 11. X equals 15. All right, so solve for the smaller angle. Now, this is where you can't trust your picture. This one looks smaller, right, on the picture. Think about these numbers, 4x plus 3 and 7x plus 12. Obviously, 4x plus 3 is going to be the smaller one. Okay, so I got a phone call, so let me see where I was at. We solved for x, and we were saying the picture doesn't match the way they're labeled. So obviously, if I take a number, multiply it by 4, and add 3, that's going to be smaller than that same number times 7 plus 12. So this is my smaller angle over here, 4 times 15 plus 3, and that turns out to be 63 degrees. And you could prove it to yourself and do the other one and make sure that that is larger, but it will be. Okay, solve for each labeled angle. What this tells us is that we have vertical angles. They are across from each other, 2 straight lines, and they will be congruent. So again, we can say that 2x minus 9 equals x plus 39. Solve that. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. 2x minus 9 equals 39. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. 2x equals 48, and divide by 2 to get x equals 24. And let me see, did I do anything wrong? I feel like I did something wrong. 1848, 24. Okay. Oh, I did do something wrong. I knew that something looked wrong. I did not take 2x minus 1x. This should be 1x. So we don't divide by 2. So x just equals 48. Sorry, I'm trying to rush here. Okay, x equals 48. And then I need to substitute in. So 2x minus 9 is 2 times 48 minus 9. And that equals 87. I would expect that the other one should be 87. So 48 plus 39 equals 87. And that is the degrees of those 2 vertical angles. All right, so hopefully that helps. You can retake this test Tuesday through Friday at lunchtime, and make sure you have your study guide done to be able to do that. And I hope y'all have a great evening or day or whenever it is you're watching this, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.